Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Dr. Himanshu Gupta and today in this video I am going to discuss with you important signs in chest radiology. Okay, first of all I will be showing you the signs, okay, and then we can discuss all these signs in brief. Okay, so let us begin. So this is the first chest radiograph. Try to identify the abnormality in this case. Okay, try to see the abnormality in this case. And this is the second chest radiograph. The third, you can pause the slide in between and you can try to make the diagnosis. The fourth, you can also keep a copy with you and try to make the diagnosis. And let me know in the comment section below how many of chest x-rays you were able to identify. The fifth, identify the sign in this case. Identify the sign in this case. Again, you have to identify the sign in this case. So this was a patient who had history of asthma, and the following features were seen on CT. So this was a patient who was immunocompromised, and the CT showed ground glass opacities in bilateral lung fields. Okay, so you have to identify which infection is causing this. So a CT of the patient was done and a soft tissue mass lesion was seen in the lung. It was showing calcification, it was showing fat contents as well. Okay. So identify which lesion is this, which lesion is this. Identify the lesion. Okay. This is a very simple case. Everyone of you will be able to identify this. So name the sign and tell me what abnormality you can see in this X-ray. Name the sign and tell me the abnormality that you can see in this X-ray. Again, you have to tell the sign. Again, you have to tell the sign. This is also a sign. This is a congenital heart disease. Congenital heart disease. You have to tell me the appearance and you have to tell the disease associated with that appearance. Okay. So friends, this was all. Okay. So let us begin. Let us begin. Okay. So guys, this was the first X-ray. This was the first X-ray, and it is showing widening. It is showing widening of the. It is showing widening of the carinal angle. Widening of the carinal angle, and it is showing straightening of left heart border. Okay. So widening of carinal angle and straightening of left heart border. So this was a case of left atrial enlargement, left atrial enlargement, and it is associated with mitral stenosis. Okay, it is associated with mitral stenosis. So coming to the next case. So this was a very simple case. This was a very simple case. If you look at the CP angles in this case, they are blunted. CP angles are blunted in this case. And this was a case of pleural effusion. Pleural effusion. Okay. Now coming to the third case. Can you see any abnormality in this case? The lung fields appear normal in this case. The lung fields appear normal, and CP angles are also almost normal. Okay. So the abnormality in this case was that the apex, the most superior point of the left dome of diaphragm is shifted towards left side. Okay. And also the distance between the dome of the diaphragm and the stomach bubble is increased in this case. The distance between the dome of the diaphragm and the stomach bubble is increased in this case. So this was a case of subpulmonic effusion. Subpulmonic effusion. Okay. And on right side, what you can see on right side, you can see what will happen in this case. The most superior point of the dome of diaphragm will shift laterally. The most superior point of the dome of diaphragm will shift laterally. Okay. But the cp angles will appear normal. So subpulmonic effusion is basically when there is effusion between the lung surface and the diaphragm, and it is not causing blunting of the cp angles. Okay. So what you will see elevation of diaphragm, as well as the most superior point of the diaphragm will be shifted laterally. Okay. Now coming to the fourth case. So this was a case of pneumothorax. Okay. You can see this is a translucent lung field. Translucent lung field. And you can see the visceral pleura. You can see the visceral pleura in this case. Can you identify this visceral pleura? This visceral pleura. This is the visceral pleura. Okay. So what you can see in the pneumothorax, you will see a translucent lung field that is devoid of lung markings. Okay. And another important sign that you can see in pneumothorax is deep sulcus sign. Deep sulcus sign. Okay. Coming to the fourth case. So you have to identify this white arrow. It is pointing towards a linear translucency within a homogeneous opacity, within a patchy opacity. Okay. So this was, guys, an air bronchogram sign. Air bronchogram sign that is seen in infective consolidation. Infective consolidation. Okay. You also need to remember that this air bronchogram sign can also be seen in pulmonary edema, pulmonary hemorrhage, and hyaline membrane disease. Hyaline membrane disease. Okay. So coming to the next case. In this case, what do we see? We see consolidation in the right upper and middle lobe. Consolidation in the right upper and middle lobe, and it is causing downward displacement of the interlobar fissure. Okay. So guys, this was bulging fissure sign. Okay. And it is more commonly seen in infection with Klebsiella pneumoniae. Okay. So coming to the next case. So this was, as I told you earlier, this was a patient with asthma. And on CT, we can see bronchiectasis. On CT, we can see bronchiectasis in bilateral lung fields. Bronchiectasis within bilateral lung fields. So this is the bronchiectasis. and it is central in location. This bronchiectasis is central in location. Okay, this is central in location. So guys, this was a classical case of allergic bronchopulmonary aspergillosis. Allergic bronchopulmonary aspergillosis. In order to make a diagnosis of aspergillosis, a patient should have history of asthma. Radiologically, you should see bronchiectasis. The IgE levels in this patient should be increased and more than 1000. And fourth, what you will see reactivity to the skin test, reactive skin test to Aspergillus fumigatus. Aspergillus fumigatus. Okay, friends, in aspergillosis you can also see an aspergilloma. So in aspergilloma, what you see, you get a monod sign, okay, which is very similar to an air crescent sign. Basically, you will see a thick-walled cavity having a fungal ball within. And this air gives the monod sign, which is very similar to air crescent sign. But air crescent sign is seen in healing form of angioinvasive aspergillosis. Okay, this was an immunocompromised patient. On CT scan, we can see ground glass opacities in bilateral lung fields that are predominantly central in location. So guys, this was a case of pneumocystis jirovecii infection. So coming to the next case, a soft tissue lesion that is showing calcification, popcorn calcification, and fat attenuation contents within. So this is the most common benign tumor of lung, that is pulmonary chondroma. Okay, you have to tell me a triad that is associated with this syndrome in the comment section below. You have to tell me the triad that is associated with this syndrome and what are the components of the triad. Okay, so guys, this was a very simple case. Round opacities seen in bilateral lung fields. So this was a case of cannonball mets. Okay, and these cannonball mets are seen in renal cell carcinoma, germ cell tumor, choriocarcinoma, prostate carcinoma, and endometrial carcinoma. Okay, so guys, you can see the arrow pointed in this figure. So can you identify this abnormality? So this is basically a homogeneous opacity in the retrocardiac region. Okay, remember, this retrocardiac region is one of the hidden area of the lung, and this signifies left lower lobe collapse. Okay, and the name of the sign is flat waist sign. Okay, so coming to the next case, I was asking you to identify the sign. First of all, we will look at the abnormality in this case. So in this case, we see a homogeneous opacity in the left upper lobe. Okay, this homogeneous opacity in the left upper lobe, along with it, we see a translucency along the arch of aorta, which is making the margins of the arch of aorta very sharp. Okay, so this is Luft-Sichel sign, Luft-Sichel sign. Okay, and it is seen in left upper lobe collapse, lobe collapse. And what is this meaning of Luft-Sichel? Luft means air, and Sichel means sickle shaped air. Okay, so this is left upper lobe collapse, Luft-Sichel sign. Coming to the next case, again we see a homogeneous opacity in the right upper lobe, and this was a case of right upper lobe collapse, right upper lobe collapse, which is giving the golden S sign, and it is seen in cases with um, bronchogenic carcinoma, central bronchogenic carcinoma, that can give a similar appearance. Okay, so the congenital heart disease that you can see in this case, so this was an egg on side appearance, and it is seen in transposition of great arteries, okay. This disorder is common among infants who are born to diabetic mothers, common in infants who are born to diabetic mothers. Okay, this is a very simple case. So it is basically a boot shaped heart, boot shaped heart, and it is seen in tetralogy of Fallot. You need to know the four components of the tetralogy of Fallot. So let us revise. You will see right ventricular hypertrophy, you will see infundibular stenosis, then you will see VSD, and you will also see overriding of aorta. Guys, you also need to know the triology of Fallot. So basically, triology of Fallot includes these two things plus ASD, and you need to know the pentology of Fallot. In that, the extra thing that is included is ASD, along with the four components of tetralogy of Fallot. So coming to the last case, so guys, this was a case of box shaped heart, and this is and it is seen in Epstein anomaly, and it is associated with lithium intake, mothers who have history of lithium intake. Okay, so guys, this was all about this short video, and also I want to tell you that I am taking free classes on Unacademy, in which I am covering almost whole of radiology, the chest radiology, GI radiology. I've already taken 2 lectures on chest and GI radiology, the links of which are given in the description below, and I will be taking a lecture on MSK on 24th, and CNS radiology on 25th, and on 29th I will be taking a lecture on 29th I will be taking a lecture on genitourinary radiology, and on the 31st, the last day of 2020, I will be discussing 50 most important MCQs in radiology. So guys, hope you enjoyed this lecture, and All the best for your preparation.